Welcome everybody. We are going to have 20 minutes Dhamma talk a little bit later, but maybe 35-40 minutes meditation. We are going to spend a little bit longer for meditation than usual, and then we can have a discussion, question and answer session. So, are there any new attendants here, new people? Is there anybody new here for the first time? Alright, very good. Nice to see you, and I would like to welcome you. This is a sacred sanctuary for all visitors, and there are Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, everybody around here, I'm sure, in this audience, and also the locals, Buddhist and non-Buddhist, and we come together with a very simple intention to cultivate self-awareness and explore spiritual principles so we can integrate them into our lives and become better human beings, and become better people, so that we can find a more meaningful and joyful life. So before we begin, let's take a moment to bring our thoughts together and experience silence for a moment. So pay attention to the breathing and feel the breath. Notice the sensation of the movement of your breath. Breathing peacefully and consciously. Each time you breathe out, relax your body. Relax. Simply visualize that you have moved your attention away from everything and everybody. You have come to a sacred sanctuary, a beautiful, peaceful place where your mind could be free from daily distractions or unnecessary disturbances. So you can give yourself a break and breathe easily, breathe consciously, and have a short break and allow the mind to refresh and rejuvenate. So, breathing in consciously, as you breathe out, relax your body. Relax your body. Now, when you're ready, you can open the eyes. Many people who came to visit me, especially the last few days, were suggesting to again, to do a guided meditation, and it seems like it is something that everybody always interested in learning more about, and integrate them so that we can reap good results of your practice. So here, when we were doing the guided meditation, we were simply using a three-step approach. The first, meditate with the body, tune in, connect with the body, direct your mind and consciously release stress and tension from the body, and practice body awareness for a few minutes so that the body can relax and get settled. And the second step is practicing conscious awareness or mindfulness in the present moment. For that, you turn your attention to the breathing Tune in to the sensation and the movement of your breath. Try to hold the attention with the flow of your breath. And keep the mind in that focused state and train the mind to remain focused. Whenever you try to meditate, there are a lot of people who say, "Oh, I can't meditate, I don't know how to meditate, I cannot concentrate. I tried and my mind never stops when I try to meditate." And those statements come from lack of understanding of meditation. Because when you meditate, everything you experience becomes part of your meditation, and you don't say, "Oh, my mind is going crazy, I cannot meditate." When you look at that statement, "Oh, when I try to meditate, my mind is going crazy." Many people make that statement. But actually what happens is that you begin to notice how crazy the mind is the moment you pay attention, and that is why you are paying attention. To train the mind to observe normal, natural mental activities that are constantly creating emotions and anxiety. And by raising awareness, cultivating your ability to pay attention to what goes on in your mind. And so you can't say, "I can't meditate because my mind is too busy," or "my mind is crazy," or "my mind is too active." It doesn't fit into the definition of meditation. Because mind is active. Mind is constantly moving into chaos. And the thoughts are complex. That's normal. So when you meditate, what you try to do is simply address that issue by training the mind to pay attention and be conscious and to face the chaos and face the disturbances. Because how else are you going to discipline your mind? And you have to be conscious and then eventually guide them. Guide the mind, guide your thoughts, guide your emotions. So that it will break off from the habitual negative, repetitive patterns that are constant in your mind, in our minds, that are normal. That's normal behavior. That's why we are constantly stressed and anxious or unhappy. Unhappiness does not come from your things or activities or other problems. The unhappiness comes from a chaotic state of mind. When you say unhappiness, that means your mind has entered into a negative emotional state, and it is in a repetitive pattern, feeling the intensity of negativity that are constantly being produced by your own thoughts and emotions. So what we try to do is just to pay attention. You have to train the mind. So you have to be patient. So whenever you sit to meditate, it is very important for you to remind yourself what you're going to do. You're going to do something different than normal things that you do in life. You're not going to do anything physically, or your purpose of sitting. If you really remind yourself, the purpose of sitting is to be still with yourself and be conscious and practice self-awareness. Let's simplify it. Our purpose of sitting is to get the body into a deep, relaxed state and allow the mind to slow down so that you can maintain your attention. Very simple. And so in order to do that, when you think about it, you have to say, you have to be first, you have to be positive about it, and you have to shift your mood into something to fit into that purpose. Shift your mood. So when you meditate, you don't feel like you're in some kind of a dark tunnel and trying to get somewhere and you're trapped in it. When you meditate, your eyebrows are light, your face is relaxed, you might have a nice smile, and your mood is good. You can do that, you can choose to be that way. If you choose to be more positive and more have a good mood within that time, that itself is a result of getting good results of meditation. Right? So you have to just say that sit down and relax, and just to say, I want to maintain a harmonious and positive mood. And you can breathe in and smile and relax and get your body to, be straight, and then turn your attention on breathing. And when you do that, one thing again, if you expect thought to stop because you sit and decided to meditate, you're going to be disappointed. Thoughts are constant. And all what you need to do is to tune in and get to know the thoughts. To do that, you can practice something very simple. Let's say, I'm observing my breathing and I notice my mind is wandering and I think, what am I thinking? To begin with, you use two references. The past and the future. That's all. You need to really realize, am I thinking about the past? Oh, I'm going to be in the past. I want to be in the present, to come back to the breathing, come back to the, bring the attention back to the breath. Again, you're observing, and the thoughts are wandering away. You look at your thoughts. Look at your thoughts. It's part of your practice. Because by familiarizing, by cultivating awareness, by facing them consciously, you are training the mind to break its habitual patterns. So pay attention, and then, I'm thinking about the past, I don't want to think about the past, I'm meditating, and so bring the attention to the breathing and say, hold it with your breath. Why? When you breathe, you always breathe in the present moment. You don't breathe in the last moment or next moment. So it's so simple. So simple. And you continue to practice awareness of breathing. And you can use some very, very simple reference in the beginning. The breath enters through the nostrils, you feel the sensation. But a disturbed mind does not know anything, whether you're breathing or not. Some people even don't know they're breathing. Because when your anxiety is high, the sensation, you don't feel that sensitive, you're not sensitive to that sensation, so you don't even know that you're breathing. And so you can just pay attention to the breathing, and the lungs get filled and the chest rise. So that's a good way to just to connect with it. And you see, you breathe in and the lungs get filled and the chest rise. And that is one breath. And then the chest falls and you feel that. So try to do that in that way. That for a few minutes you really need to tune in and try as slowly practice so that you will notice the breath. You will notice the sensation of the breath. And then that is what Buddha says, Digham va asusantu, digham asusami pradhanati. So you are consciously deeply aware of the length of your breath, whether it is a longer breath or a shorter breath, because you are connected to the sensation of the movement of your breath. And that's what comes next. But in the beginning, you just only try to train your mind to be that way. And then, always, why we meditate? I always say we meditate because we want to be better human beings. It's very simple. You shouldn't be, you may not be ready yet to be meditate, to be enlightened. Because you have to overcome your human problems and human weaknesses, and you have to become a better human being by cultivating certain virtues, by training the mind. So that's what the results of meditation should be to our quality of life, and give us more strength and clarity to face the challenges, because you're mentally strong and calm. So, and then you hold the attention, you practice that awareness for a period of time. After that, at the third step, you can use any positive affirmation. But I always ask people, take that moment as you end the meditation to connect with the wholesome spiritual virtues that you have within you, and then remember them. If you remember them and repeat them, reflect on them, they become stronger in you. Because unconsciously we have conditioned ourselves to so much negativity, unconsciously. Oh, I'm terrible, and I'm not that smart, or, and so there are a lot of problems with self-image that people have without knowing, cultivated negative attitude towards them or about them, and which will make them even to suffer a lot in life. So I very often use 3 words or 2 words we can use. Let's say, I'm kind, I'm loving, and I'm patient. This is a very common 3 words I use. So you can repeat them, and you can feel it, you can reflect on it, you know that you have those strengths within you. You remember. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead you through the meditation first, and then maybe you short the Dhamma talk about the karma in daily life, and then we can have a question and answer. So so let's close our eyes and pay attention to your breathing and feel the breath. Notice the sensation of the movement of your breath. Follow the breath to the center of your chest.